Good day everyone, my name is Precious Shola. So this is what we are going to be doing today. We are going to create a personal index page. Yes, personal index page. Create an index page. Use H1 to display your full name. Use P tag to write a short biography about yourself. Style the page using CSS so that all the text is centered horizontally and vertically on the page. Also give the page a background color of your choice. So this is what you are going to be doing today. So if you are a complete beginner in programming, coding or web development, this class is actually for you. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to create a folder. So this is the way you're going to create a folder. You're going to right click and you're going to see all this option. Then you click on new folder. Then we are going to name the folder personal. I'm going to name the folder personal. Let's say personal page, because that's actually our subject matter. Then we are going to open the folder using VS Code. Yes, if you want to code, you need to actually have VS Code on your system installed. So we are going to open with VS Code. Yes, you are going to see something like this on your screen. You're just going to say yes and yes. So you're coming to this new file icon. You're going to click on it and you're going to write index.html. Make sure it's index.html. You can actually name it anything, maybe home.html, first.html, anything, but it should actually be .html. That's actually how VS Code is going to know that this is an HTML file, or any code editor you are using. That's how they are going to know that that's an HTML file. So the first thing you are going to do now, we want to generate our HTML structure, or you can call it HTML boilerplate. So what you are going to press, Shift 1. You're going to click enter. Your HTML structure will appear. So you don't actually need to cram all these things. VS Code has actually made it easy for you. So this is your title. Anything you write here is actually going to display as the title on your Chrome or on any browser you're using. And your body, anything you write inside your body is actually what's going to display on your page. Yes, that's what is going to display on your page. So the first thing we are going to do, we are going to create a div. Yes, a div. So this div is actually an HTML element. Yes, it's actually an HTML element. It's usually used as a container to put other HTML elements, and also it is a block level element. So for every HTML element you see, it's actually a block level or an inline element. A site I'm actually going to recommend for you is W3 School. There's actually a topic called block and inline elements. Yes, block and inline elements, and dev is actually a block element. Yes, what is a block element? You can actually see it here. Block element always starts on a new line and the browser automatically adds some space. Imagine before and after. Yes, a paragraph tag is a block element, a dev tag is a block element. So don't worry, even though if you don't understand all these things, don't worry. As time goes on, as you code every day, you're going to understand it. A dev is a block element. So these are block elements. An inline element, a tag is an inline element, img tag is an inline element, a spam is an inline element. So as time goes on, you're going to understand what is block and inline elements, but I'm still going to give more explanation on each element we are going to use is h1. We are going to use h1 tag to write our name. So I'm going to write my name here. So when you actually click h and 1 and you click enter, it's going to appear like this. So you're just going to write your name. My name is Precious Shola. I'm going to write Precious Shola. So the next thing, I'm going to use a paragraph tab. I want to write a brief biography about myself. So if you want to use a paragraph tab, just press P and it's going to appear like this. When you press enter, the paragraph tag the opening tag and closing tag will actually open automatically. So a brief biography about myself. I already have one here. I'm just gonna put it inside. We have done that. So you are just going to save this. Press Ctrl S is going to save. Going to come to your folder. After saving, you open your folder, then this is your index page you created, then you open it, then it's going to appear like this. Yes. Now the next thing we want to do, we want to add a background color. We want to align everything to the center, then actually give the text a color and do some CSS. So we are going to move into CSS. So if you want to start CSS, there are actually 3 ways of implementing CSS. There's what they call the inline CSS, there's internal CSS, and there's external CSS. Yes, inline CSS is actually used at times. So the way you can apply inline CSS, maybe I want to style just only my H1, and let me explain something. This H1 here, this H1 you're seeing here is actually the opening tag, and this is actually the closing tag, and everything that's here is actually an element. This is opening tag, this is opening tag, closing tag, and everything is actually an element. That's one thing you should put in your mind. Yeah. So if I want to style this H1 element, I'm going to come to the opening tag. I'm going to say style. When I say style, maybe I want to change the color to red. I'm just going to say red. When I press Ctrl S, I come to my Ctrl X, come to your Chrome, and you refresh, you're going to see that's red. This actually inline CSS. So there's the second way to implement CSS is actually called internal CSS. You are going to come to your head tag. Make sure it's in your head tag. You're going to come to your head tag and you're going to say style. You're going to say style. Click enter. It's going to appear like this. Inside of it, you are going to say, maybe I want to style this H1. I'm still going to say H1. I'm going to say H1 opening. Give it the open. Then let me say color. Let's say blue. Now. Let's save it. When you save it, go to your Chrome. When you go to your Chrome, you refresh. That's blue already. So that's inline CSS. This is actually it's called internal CSS. I know this is a beginner class, but most of the time what you want to use is external CSS. That's actually the preferred one, and let me say that's what, as a professional, that's what you should use. So how to use external CSS? You are going to create a CSS file. You can name it style.css. Yes, style.css. This is your CSS file. Then you are going to link the HTML file to your CSS file. So we are going to link it, and we are going to use the link tag. When you press your link, you press enter. Then in your href here, you are going to write style. Yes, style. You're going to write style, then style. You are inside your CSS file now. You're inside your CSS file. So so in CSS now, CSS, to understand, let me just give you a brief explanation of CSS, the syntax of CSS. Just like I said, the website I'm going to recommend for you is W3 School. So when we come to W3 School, our syntax for CSS, there's this CSS syntax. There's the selector. That's the element you want to style. You are going to pick the element, and the declaration. There's actually a property and a value. If you remember, I used color. Color is actually the property. Then blue is actually the value. So this is actually how it's going to appear. This p tag is the selector, and the color, the property, the red, the value. This text align is actually the property. Center is the value. So don't worry if you don't understand. As you continue programming every day, you're going to really understand it, and it's going to be very, very easy for you. So now the selector we are going to use is body. Yes, is body. I want to style my body. Yes, I want to style my body. The selector I'm going to use is body. I want to style my body. Yes, this is actually body. There are actually different ways to use. You can actually give it a class on an ID to style it, but for now, just to keep this video very basics, we are just going to use the HTML element to style. We are not going to give it a class or ID. Don't worry, even though you don't understand what ID and class means, as you continue to program every day, you're going to understand it. So we are going to give it an ID, and we are going to give it a background color. The body, you want to give the body a background color. So as soon as you start even writing background, you are going to see background color. So you click enter. I want to give it red as the background color, so I'm going to click red. So now the amazing thing here, you don't need to cram any color code. You can actually come here to look for the kind of red you want, the kind of red that suits you, or better still, if you know the color code, if you have the color code, or you know the color code for this tutorial, that I have a color code I want to use. I have a color code I want to use, so I'm just going to use it. But you don't need to actually cram any color code. You just write the color, the name of the color. You can edit it. Yes. So when I press Ctrl S, I come here, I press Ctrl S, I come back to my project, I press, yeah, this is actually red. Everything I've given the background color red. Yes, the background color is red. So now the next thing we are going to do, I want to style everything here. I want to bring the text to the center and give it another color. So the next property we are going to use now, if you remember, the body is the selector, the background color is the property, this here is the value. So the next property I'm going to use is display. Yes, I'm going to say display flex. Yes. So for the sake of this tutorial, let me just give a brief explanation of what display is. So without wasting much time, yes, you come to W3 School, CSS, the display property. Yes, you can actually come to W3 School, read what display means. Yes, display is a property. Display is a property for controlling layout. Is so if I want to actually explain what display means, display is actually the property in CSS that's actually make your element flexible for when you actually use display flex. Yes, when you actually use display flex, it's going to make your element flexible to control it or to align it. And if you use this, display is a property, and display has about let me see, about 5 or 6 other value under it. Flex is one of the value. There's what they call display block. Yes, display block is actually used when you actually have an inline element. We actually change that inline element to a block element. You can see display inline, vice versa. So you can actually come to W3 School, learn more about display. Yes, learn more about the property of display. But for this tutorial, we are going to be using display flex. We just want to align our text. Yes, the reason why I actually use display flex is actually going to make all the elements in the body flexible for styling. So the next thing I'm going to do now, the next property I'm going to do, I'll say justify. I want to justify all the content in the body. I'm going to justify it to center. I guess this is actually self-explanatory. Justify content. I want to justify the content, so I'm justifying it to the center. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to align item. I want to align all the items. I'm going to say align items. I'm going to align all the items in the body to center. Yes, the contents to center. So all the items are, this is a body, this is actually the selector I selected. So Dave, I'm aligning it, div is an item, each one is an item, p tag is an item, so I'm aligning them to the center. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say text align. Yes, I want to align all the text. I want to align all the text to the center. Yes, if you remember the first thing what we wanted to achieve, we wanted to align everything to the center. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to give the body an height. Yes, and height, I'm going to say 100 VH. The next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to say font size. Yes, font size, I want to increase my font to, let's say 24, all my font 24 pixels. Yes, 24 pixels. Pixels is actually a unit, VH is actually a unit. So as you program every day, you're going to understand it, and as you watch my videos, I'm going to explain all this in my next class. So when let's look how our page is going to look like. So let's come to our page and refresh. Yes, all our elements has been aligned to the center. So let's give it a color. Let's change the color, the H1 color and the P tag color. So you can give it the color of your choice, but so as a graphic designer, let me see the color that will be best. Let me see. Now to color your H1, now you're just going to say H1 as your selector. Yes, so you're going to give it color. What I think I'm going to give it yellow or gold. Well, I think I have a color code I want to use, so I'm just going to give it F. So and you don't actually need to cram any color code. As time goes on, you're just going to see the color that you love and you always use, and you just know the color code by yourself. You don't need to cram. And yes, I want to color the P1, I mean the P tag. Yes, and I want to give the P tag a color, so we are just going to say P and open it. So the next thing we are going to do is color. We are going to give it color. We are going to name it white. Yes, I want to give it a white color, so you're just going to write white and white will appear. But I like color code, so let me just say FFF. So that's actually the color code for white. Just like I said, you don't need to cram all these things. As time goes on, you will just know them. So and this is what we have here, and I think this is quite okay. This is what we wanted to achieve. Wanted to create a display your full name using H1 tag and using P tag to write a short biography about yourself, and that's what we have done using HTML and CSS. This is actually basics. Do it. Anything you don't understand, do it to ask question in the comment box, and do it to subscribe for more video. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Remember,
the name the world will know. Oh.